Hello again and welcome. It's me, Mr. D. We're back with another crochet lesson, and this time we're going to be looking at sort of the opposite of what we looked at in the previous video, where we learned to increase and add stitches to add width to a project. And this lesson we're going to be looking at decreases, and so we'll learn to bring stitch count down in such a way to make the widths smaller. And for this particular lesson, I'm using the end of a project that I'm currently working on, work in progress as it's called, or a WIP, W-I-P. And to the last row of this, it's where I've been working on this flat-ish circle, and I'm going to be turning this into basically a crocheted frisbee, or as I like to call them, a Crō-Flyer. And so we'll be taking this last round and decreasing to help create a place to hold it. It'll turn under and create like a lip or an edge to hold when you throw this thing like a frisbee. So it starts off by decreasing in the first stitch, and what that involves is putting your hook into the first stitch and pulling a loop up, and then placing the hook into the next stitch, pulling a loop up, and then drawing through all three. And essentially I've just shrunk the width by one stitch now. And so what I would do next is I'm going to single crochet in the next two, and then repeat that pattern all the way around to the end. Now, when you're doing something like this where you're counting certain number of stitches or a pattern of stitches, it's good to know where the round begins so you know when to stop without counting stitches. And so this effectively is the first stitch. That's that first decrease I did, and then followed by, I'm using obviously a safety pin here, but they make stitch markers that you can buy in a store. It's not necessary, obviously. So there's the first stitch, and then the two single crochets I made after that decrease. So I'll just continue that pattern of decreasing and then two single crochets following the decrease all the way around. And what we're hoping to have is this underturned lip for holding the frisbee and throwing it. And one kind of neat thing about this pattern, this style of frisbee, is that it can travel very easily in a glove box, in a pocket, in a backpack, and go with you pretty much anywhere. Relatively safe for using inside as well as outside. Well, they're a lot of fun. I'm just trying out this pattern with a different yarn than I normally use, and here we go, talking and getting lost. But normally I use a cotton yarn to do this, and this is an acrylic. It's made by Premier Yarns. It's called a puzzle yarn. It kind of puzzles the colors together, the color changes, and it's considered a number 5 bulky yarn, so I thought it might be stiff enough to try for this project. I do normally like to use a cotton crochet yarn for this. So there's one pattern, decrease, and two, and decrease. So 2 more singles coming up here, and maybe better pay attention to what I'm doing. So we'll do a couple more here, and then I'll pause this and meet you back to show you what it looks like when it's finished after I've gone around. I do not want to bore you to death with watching me go in a complete round here. So this is what we've got so far. It does feel like it's already starting to turn under, and then when I finish this round, I'll come back and show you the results. We'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back. Here we are after I completed this Crō-Flyer frisbee. You can see the top here, and flip it over, and there's the bottom. What I ended up doing was, after that round of decrease, I decided that I wanted to do another one so it would come in tighter and be a little easier to hold on to. So I did another round, but I reversed the order. So I did 2 single crochet and then a decrease, 2 single crochet and a decrease, so that this would bring it in tighter. At this point, you can see that I have the tail end of it. I have not finished this off yet, and I'm going to save that for the next video about how to weave in your ends and finishing it off. So we'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.